Hello, my name is Jaime Smith and I'm the Director for the Mental Health and Wellbeing in Schools programme here at the Anna Freud Centre. And I want to give you some tips if you're leading on mental health and wellbeing in your school or college. The first one is, you might be leading on it, but actually everyone needs to be involved. Starting at governors, through to senior leadership team, the whole staff body, parents and carers, and children and young people. A good starting point is to have a clear mental health policy that outlines your procedure of how you're going to promote mental health in your setting, including how you're going to promote staff mental health. The next thing to think about is to ensure everyone's talking about mental health, and we can do that by making sure it's on all meeting agendas. So governor meetings, again SLT meetings, staff meetings, and also student council meetings to make sure everyone has the opportunity to talk about mental health and wellbeing when they come together to meet. My third point is that you should really try and make it visible in your school setting. So you can do that really easily through notice boards. Having a notice board that is dedicated to mental health and wellbeing in your reception for parents and carers, in your staff room, and also in the school corridors. So there's lots of information about mental health and signposting information for everyone, so that as a school community you're really championing mental health and everyone feels comfortable to talk about it. My next tip is around measuring and monitoring mental health and wellbeing in your setting. In order to best support children and young people, we need to really understand need. One way to do that is through a pupil survey, and the Wellbeing Measurement Framework is an example of a validated set of questions that measures wellbeing and resilience. The survey can be downloaded for free from our web pages, and there's a version for primary, secondary and colleges. Whilst understanding pupil need, it's also important to evaluate any interventions that you've put in place. It's really important that we know that they're having the impact that we want. One way to do that is by using this toolkit. It's a really useful resource and has a whole range of validated measures in there to really help you understand how best to measure and evaluate any interventions you're using. It also has some really useful case studies from other schools and colleges that have used this resource before. My final tip is about implementing a peer support scheme that really champions mental health in your school or college setting. We know that children and young people will often talk to each other first if they've got a problem, and a peer support scheme that focuses on mental health allows children and young people to talk to each other about how they're feeling, but in a managed way. With funding from the Department for Education, we've been working with over 100 schools and colleges over the last 2 years to implement peer support schemes that focus on mental health, and we've seen a real impact. If you want to find out more about how best to implement a peer support scheme in your setting, you can go to our web pages. We have a whole range of online resources, videos, training materials, and a manual that outlines the 5 core principles of how best to set up a peer support scheme that really focuses on mental health.